Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. So today what we have here is a very grimy PS2. I got this one on eBay and yeah, it's definitely got a lot of grime on here, which is nothing I'm not familiar with anyway. I mean, it is what it is, and I think that this will clean up real nice. But the really nasty thing about this one is the copious amounts of dead spiders and stuff in here. So I don't know what we're gonna find on the inside here. I'm a little nervous, and I don't even know if this works or not. So I think the first thing we should do is probably give this a test and see what we got going on. Alright, moment of truth. Alright, it does boot. It's very slow. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the disk drive. Yeah, so we got a little bit of possession going on here, so I think this thing absolutely needs a complete disk drive teardown at the very least, and that should solve that issue. But I really do think that this was jammed at one point. If you look here, you can see the bulged plastic under the disk drive. This is a good indication the disk drive jammed at one point. Well, now that I know that it boots up, what I want to do is I want to test the disk drive, make sure we don't need a new laser. So, well, now it stays open. So we're going to start off with a blue back game. We'll see if it reads it. Yeah, I kind of hear the disk skipping around in there, but it did read it, so that's good. Yeah, it's making like a kind of noise. Yeah, I'll have to look at the disk drive magnet. I think that might be the disk drive magnet losing a little bit of friction, but it's got just enough to hold on to the disk. All right, let's try a DVD game. All right, great. That's good news for me. I don't have to shell out any money for a new laser, so we can just crack this open and see what's inside and refurbish it, and should be good to go on this one. Well, this part I do like. I'm the first one to get into the system. But what I don't like is I clipped my nails this morning. Now I can't grab this stupid sticker. Ugh. There's some brown stuff on these. I'm gonna have to wash those rubber feet. You know, I can't for the life of me find my precision screwdriver. I know I use it upstairs on my computer, but I brought it back down here, and I have a sneaking suspicion on what might have happened to it. So is it Tweedledee? Or is it Tweedledum? Yeah, so I'll just use a regular old screwdriver, I guess. I don't know, that's really weird. I mean, I guess maybe I could have misplaced it. But I'm pretty sure I put that back on my bench. If it's not on my bench, it's on my computer. And I mean, Maya, the fluffy one, doesn't normally touch my stuff, but she has been known to bat some things around. And Ron, the orange one, likes to think everything is a toy. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with on the inside here. Good lord, that is a lot of spider webs. And we got some here too. Yeah, I guess first things first, let's vacuum some of these up. I think that's an egg sac there, right? I don't know, somebody can tell me in the comments. Either way, this is all going. Alright, so that's good. So now my sink shouldn't be completely clogged with spider carcasses. Might as well just take this off while we're here. Let's just keep stripping this thing down. Yeah, everything's got to be clean on this. It's so nasty. I guess we'll pull this thing out. Oh my god. That is nasty. So I'm kind of thinking maybe fire might be the best way to go about this. A lot of this stuff isn't even coming up. This is gonna need like a really long hot soak. That is for damn sure. You know what is ironic to me is that the top of the disk drive is the cleanest part of this whole PS2. Normally when I get these and they're like dusty and stuff, like there's always something encrusted into these little squares, but I don't even know if I have to wash this. I mean, I am. And now we're just gonna take these two screws out. Just one holding the fan on can come out later, but I'm just take it out now. And on the underside here, I just want to pull these ribbon cables out. And power supply is out, and that is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, that's just one big spider web. I'm gonna do the best I can vacuuming this all up. You know, I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do. I'm gonna put this in the wash pile. I usually don't do that with metal, but I think I'm gonna have no choice in this one. So yeah, this is pretty bad too. So we're gonna definitely give this a good vacuum. Yeah, this thing needs a little bit of sterilization. Yeah, that was just isopropyl alcohol. Just want to soak it and break up some of this crap that's on here. Really the best thing for this power supply is if I had like a ultrasonic cleaner. That would be absolutely perfect for something like this. Don't have it in the budget to get one of those at the moment, but I'm really wishing I had one right now. In the back here definitely could use a clean. You know what, I see some damage on the solder mask here. Right there. I saw it before. I guess it started flaking off. So I do want to fix, just kind of isolate this spot a little bit. I don't have any Kapton tape, but I do have a little bit of hot glue. So I just want to put some on just so I can isolate this spot. I think that'll be good for now. All right, now we can focus on stripping the rest of this down. Ugh. So you're probably gonna notice the mat's not here, and that is because I had to wash that after cleaning the power supply. Which, speaking of which, I kind of want to throw this out to the community a little bit, because I was having this thought while I was cleaning the power supply. Now, would you have cleaned this with just alcohol, or maybe some, what is it? Distilled water. Would you have used distilled water to maybe rinse that off? I'm really curious on what people's thoughts on that are. I'm always nervous about putting water on it because, like, for me, I always know that there's just going to be, like, that one time that there's going to be a little bit of water left over and I'm going to short out the whole thing. But I really am genuinely curious what other people's thoughts are. Sorry for the crappy angle. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see here. I'm basically just trying to get this ribbon cable off the laser. I don't feel like opening this just yet, so there we go. And we got some screws. Well, I have not used this precision screwdriver set in a long time. Funny story though about this precision screwdriver set that I'm using now. I always keep it around as a backup, but I got this back when I was in high school. So we're talking like, I guess this was around 2002, 2003. When my PS2 broke, because I have one of those launch models that had the infamous disk read error. And my parents bought me this screwdriver set so I can try and get my PS2 working. Which I didn't get it fully working back then, but 20 years later, I did put a new laser in and now it's working perfectly. So yeah, just a fun little tidbit that I figured I'd share. One more screw here. Then we can see what kind of damage we got underneath the shieldings here. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay, it's not that bad underneath. Well, we have an ant there. Okay, so yeah, this is actually pretty clean. Just like a couple little, it's like a little dust bunny there. Yeah, I was expecting underneath here to be a lot worse. This thermal pad's pretty, there we go. Yeah, I mean underneath there's definitely a little bit of spider webbage, but yeah, it's not bad. But I am tempted to replace this thermal pad. It does feel not so good. So yeah, it's not too bad underneath here. I guess we might as well take this thermal pad off. Yeah, it's pretty cruddy under here. We'll just replace that. And then while we're at it, we might as well replace the other thermal pads on, if I have the right ones. I think we might as well replace these too. Yeah, these feel hard actually. Yeah, we'll replace all the thermal pads. So now we're gonna move our attention to the disk drive. So I don't really know what we're gonna be running into inside here. Like peeking underneath it, especially when I took the laser ribbon cable off. I saw some cobwebs, but your guess is as good as mine what we're gonna find in here. Yeah, okay. It's not terrible at all. There is a spider carcass on the bottom of the laser here, so let me just suck that up real quick. So we gotta get the disc tray out next, so these two screws gotta go. And we're gonna take this rail off. So for that we gotta remove this screw. That'll come out. Just like that. We'll just set these aside, move that into the wash pile. So next we gotta get this whole assembly out. So we'll start in the back here with these brass screws. And down to these silver screws. Which these silver screws are gonna have a finer thread on them. That's because they go into metal. So if you ever work on these on your own and you get a little confused about which one goes where, which happens because I've been there before. The coarser screws go in here, and they're also longer because they go into the plastic. So, and then the finer screws go in the metal, so they're basically like machine screws. All right, we'll take this out for now. We won't be getting to that for a while. So I want to get this mechanism out now. This basically is for what moves that whole assembly up and down. Should come out. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I need to release the motor and everything underneath. So this screw is what's holding that whole thing in. Now this also depends on your disk drive model too. I think it's older ones have the screw on the top, which makes things a lot easier, especially when you need to replace or service the belt. Because otherwise, to do that, you have to pretty much disassemble take the whole drive out. So these 30,000, what is this, 39,001? Yeah, they start to get a little more involved in terms of servicing, which isn't really that big of a deal as long as we just go nice and slow. All right, so everything that we have that needs to be washed is right here in this pile. So we're gonna go to the sink and get this all cleaned up. All right, we got the parts here, in they go. Ow, water, hot, why did I make it so hot? Okay, so I'm gonna let this soak for a little bit and I'll be back. All right, it's been soaking for a good few minutes here, so let's just start wiping things down. Let's kind of gloss over this a little bit. I mean, nobody needs to see me washing for 20 minutes. And we are back, so everything is clean and dry, so all we have to do is just start putting the disk drive back together. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm just going to keep this one brief, just because we got so much to cover with this PlayStation. So if you want to see something a little more in-depth, I'll have a link in the description below that you can check out after this video, where you can see more in-depth on how to disassemble and reassemble the disk drive. Did find my screwdriver. One of the cats must have put it in my toolbox. You know, with how gross this disk drive was, I'm actually surprised about how clean these rails are. So with this little clean here, this is ready to go back in. Alright, this belt is much better now. Much more round. Hopefully it didn't stretch out too much, because it does feel... it actually feels fine. Alright, just gotta put this screw on the bottom. Future Chris here. I've gotten many comments on people having issues getting the tray to function properly after reinstalling it. Look at my right hand. I'm pushing the white plastic piece all the way to the right to make sure it lines up with the track on the bottom of the tray. If you get it wrong, it'll just jam up and you have to try it again. Alright, we're pretty much done with the disk drive here. I'm just going to put a screw in on each of the corners just to lock this lid in place for the time being, because we do have to get back in here again. So I did want to work on this tonight to basically grind the rust off and repaint these. This can probably get away without being repainted, but it's going to look really stupid being two different colors, so I'll repaint this as well. But unfortunately, it's cold, it's windy, and slightly rainy tonight, so we're going to have to put this aside for the time being. But what we can work on is, moving forward, we can put the memory card doors back on. Yeah, it's kind of difficult seeing what I'm doing. Slide it on, put the loop over the nub. Just slide it in. Come on. There we go. Hey. Seemed pretty springy there to me. Good. Now, this screw looks a little crusty. Maybe we can clean that off just a little bit. It's got some crawl space crud on it. I think that might just be corrosion. Yeah, I didn't take any of that off. That's just corrosion. Oh well, nothing you can do about it. Alright, we'll put this aside. Yeah, it's got a little crinkly when it dried. Alright, I'm just gonna have to put something heavy on top of this. I'm sure I got a book or something somewhere. Well, this is the heaviest book I own, so we'll just plop that on there and let it sit for 24 hours and see what happens. So we are outside and it's time to grind down these shieldings. So this top shielding is actually not too bad. So I'm just gonna grind down what is the most egregious, which is really just a couple spots I see, like right here. And then this should be fine. Alright, so now we're on the hard drive caddy. This one is pretty bad, and really the main reason why I'm going to be repainting this part so then it would match. I did the best I could on this. It's still a little rust in the corners, but this thing can only get so close. Now we'll just spritz these in with alcohol. Just make sure it's nice and clean for painting. I didn't do anything on the bottom here because the bottom is actually in really good shape, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Alright, so I did mask the sticker off here, just to preserve that detail. And then I did tape up the fins best I can. First thing I'm going to do, just to knock it out of the way, is just replace this battery. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the thermal pads. I got the thickest one I have out of an assortment, and we'll just roughly get the size that we need. Man, they're a little bigger than what the originals were, but whatever. That'll be fine. Solid as a rock. And I got a thinner one here that I'm going to cut out. The one for the CPU and GPU. All right, that looks good. I like that. Now time to slide this back in. Great. Come on, get in there. Oh, Jesus. And then we just got the memory card ports here, and then should be good to go. I actually almost forgot to reattach the laser. Why did I do that? I'm making all sorts of rookie mistakes here tonight. Gotta clean the laser lens. And then we'll just give the alcohol a few minutes to dry, and then we'll give it a boot. All right, let's boot it up again and make sure everything works. All right, we'll start off with a DVD game, see how that boots. All right, that read it pretty quick. Let's just double check, make sure it works. Okay, we're at the loading screen. It's good enough for me for now. All right, we're gonna try a CD-based game. So blue back. And basically, I'm just really hoping that it doesn't grind, because then I would have to do a little flex sealing, but hopefully that's not gonna be the case. Yeah, it did read it, but I don't know. Yeah, the disc is slipping on the CD magnet. Yeah, that disc is slipping on the CD magnet. Reason why it's slipping is CD games spin faster, so it doesn't seem like it's reading it, but I'm not happy with that, so we're gonna have to flex seal that real quick. Alright, so basically the short version of this is this disk drive magnet has lost its friction on here, so I have to increase the friction. So I use flex seal for that. So I do have a long form video on this, so if you're interested, I'll have a link in the description below. It also shows another method that's not flex seal. I do the flex seal just because it's a little more professional, but you could do it with duct tape too. So yeah, like I said, links in the description if you're interested in that. But watch it after you watch this video. Alright, so I got the Flex Seal disk drive magnet right here. I think it came out really good. So let's pop it in and see if it works. Nice, no more grinding. Alright, so we can button this baby up. Gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing came out, especially with what we started with. This thing is loads better. So, I only got a couple minor things I have to do. Like, I do want to try and get some of these scuffs off and some of this white stuff that wouldn't come off. So I'll work with that a little on my own. I still have to clean up the residue from the warranty sticker, but yeah, just some little things to kind of pick up or clean up. Try and pop that in just a little bit. There we go. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And remember, fix it, don't ditch it. Have a good one, everybody.